my name is Andrew Spees, face-to-face. I was a design technology teacher at Brandon School District for 8.5 years. I got the privilege of starting a STEM program and integrating a bunch of really cool classes, working with some awesome teachers. That program's up when I left. I think they're up, Brian, at 150, 160 in there now. Really awesome program. I highly recommend. A lot of schools are coming to visit them now to kind of check it out. So I encourage your school if they want to go do that. I still work with them a little bit, help them out with things. Online, I've been here since January 2014. Okay. Extracurricularly, I work in team leader at Truck Thunder Robotics. I coach a first robotics team I have for 6 years. We're one of the top 3 teams in the whole state of Michigan. When it comes to our program, we run a K-12 program at Brandon School District. So, in other words, I'm really busy. Go ahead and sign up with your phone. How many have used Remind before? Okay? And you've sent out messages. Raise your hand if you've sent messages out using Remind. Raise your hand if you've been the recipient of a message from Remind. That number is usually low, right? So what I like to do is, okay, let's all get in a Remind group and you can see what a message looks like coming to you and how to sign up. You know what your parents are getting into. Plus, at the end, maybe we'll show a new feature that Remind just put out in the last 6 months. All right, so here's the tools I've used for success this summer, and I've kind of integrated these 4 tools to make my life easier and communicate with students. So I'm going to kind of walk you through how I do that. So here's some strategies that I've used to get students a little bit. That personal connection to me is come back, right? I feel like I'm now connected with the student again. I'm talking to them, I'm asking a question, I'm motivating. I'm assessing their readiness for a test, right? I'll talk about that. I send my announcements out over text message on Monday morning, not just put it in the course, and not just email it. You're getting a text message. If you think about the student in the summertime, and I have a 15-year-old daughter, so I see this firsthand. You think about students in the summertime, what are they doing in the morning? They're not working on your course. They're in bed. But their cell phones are there, right? So at 8 a.m. on Monday morning, they get a text from me. They don't have to get up and log into the course. They can sit there and think about, like, what am I going to do this week, right? Here's an example of the personal connection that I've made with some of the students. And then, so the very first, this is week 7 of my 10-week course this semester, and I sent this message, and there's one thing I could have added to that I think I should. And I'm concerned about your progress. Are you still planning on completing the course? That was a really powerful message. What's one thing I could add to that? Their name, right? It's really powerful when you already know their name when you go to them, right? So I probably should have said her name is Ariel. Right?
Did you send the same one out to 12 or 15 kids?
Yeah. So what had happened was during the course of the semester I collect their names in Google. So as they text me the first time, I find out who the heck they are, right? And then I'll save it right here in Google as a contact. Well, now I can go to them and just search their name. So I'll hit text, I'll put in their name, start putting in their name, it'll finish it, and it'll let me send them a message. Yeah.
You do this all on the computer, you don't do this with record?
Yeah, everything on the computer. So I'm typing, they're texting. In Module 2, I'm probably going to get her to 60% now, when before she wouldn't do anything at all until the 7th week. Right? Will she get an A? Probably not. But she's going to get a better grade than she would have if I wouldn't have texted her. Anyways, so, yes, of course, and then she couldn't spell, right? Right? When is the course deadline? She wanted to know when the deadline of the course was, right? But that's a question she didn't know, and she needed to know that question. So anyways, this is the first conversation I had with her, and I thought it was really powerful, because now this student, is probably going to get 60% of the course. One thing we do is we assess readiness. So we have, in our math courses, we have discussion-based assessments. And if you like this idea and you want it some more in your courses, I want to recommend them because this is what really got them texting me, right? So what I say is DBAs must be done in real time. That's my rule. So I give them the choice of using my Adobe Connect Room, and you guys have Blackboard Collaborate, it'll work the same way. So those are for the students, and then text messaging or a phone call. Which one do you think they pick?
Text.
They all text me. Nobody ever calls me, right? They never call me. And I'll have one or two that don't have a cell phone. And so they'll have that virtual office option. Or I'll probably make them call me or something. But pretty much all of them text me, right? My next rule is I wait for you to contact me. I will not initiate a DBA. So they have to contact me. All of a sudden they're like, they have this ownership, right? So TBAs will be done prior to all module tests, no exceptions. I will ask 2 or 3 general questions. So basically, then I'll ask them for their score on the practice test. So let's see one. So this was one that I did where everything was good. She got a decent grade on the practice test. She answered my questions. She got a 33 out of 38. I'll admit, I let her go. She's right on the border, right? She got a 30, I would have made her do something else, right? So that was one that was pretty good. I asked her the 3 questions. She pretty much got them right. What was your score on the practice test? So I have this message right here. I copy-paste that over and over again. Go ahead and type a couple sentences in the submission box about our conversation to remind me that we had a conversation, and I'll give you your 30 points. And then when they submit that, it unlocks the test for them.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. Your tests are set up.
Yeah. So adaptive release on this discussion-based assessment.
There's a way for kids to get around that. It's adaptive release on them submitting a summary of your conversation. So if they don't want to have that conversation with you, they can still submit like a blank assignment to open the test.
They can. Then they get a 0 out of 30.
Yeah, and then points on the DBA. So if it's a matter of being locked up Friday when you want to work.
Then they get feedback that says it's really important to have a conversation.
30 points in the course too, for 5, 6 of them. It's a lot of points. I mean, it's a lot of points, like for.
Of the 70 kids I had, 1 or 2 tried that, and I just intervened, and it was fine after that. Here's an example of one where I said she scored, I forgot it was a he or she, but 21 out of 34 on the practice test. Now, these practice tests are not required in the course, and they don't count for points. But they know they can't get past the discussion-based assessment unless they do the practice test. 21 out of 34, so I said, okay, I would like you to make the corrections and text me a picture of the corrections. So working out on paper, shoot a picture with your phone and text it to me. The picture comes to my email and I go through their problems and see how they're doing. So this one, I asked her, would you like any help figuring out anything? She said yes. I said, well, will you meet me in my virtual office in 15 minutes? So then she came into my virtual office and I actually helped her work out some problems. And again, I don't remember. Weekly announcements. So instead of typing my announcement in the Blackboard announcements, I actually type out my announcement in a Google Doc, right? And then I paste it in. I gotta make sure that this is exactly the same, right? So this Google Doc, where's my scroll? And it pretty much just scrolls. So I put the new one on top of, right? So all the old announcements are here too, right? But what I can do here is, I can send this out with a remind with the URL shortcut, right? So if you haven't, a lot of you probably know this, but anyone with the link can view, you copy the link, you throw it in a remind, and I can share it Monday morning over text. Now, a lot of students have smartphones, they've got a smartphone, they can bring this right up on their phone. They go through and they read what it is they have to do that week, and they don't even have to log in. So I think I have some examples. Here's another tip, Blackboard tip, is this wonderful email announcement button. I've tested it, it works. And you'll get a copy of the email. So when you fill out, when you go to paste, like I go and paste mine into Blackboard, there's this little funny button that says email announcement. I check this and I make sure that they get it. I also, at the beginning of the semester, collect all of their contact information, so I go and double check that their email in Blackboard and the email they use are the same. Right?
If you think for Blackboard,
And if it's not, because
I just
some
change
is
it.
like bogus at blah blah. I'm like,
Yeah, I just change it.
how do you change it?
You just edit it. It's right there in Blackboard.
On the website,
It's like where you can the same place.
Users and groups.
One other thing about the email announcement stuff,
Yeah.
you have to do that when the announcement is posted. I set all my announcements up at the beginning of the semester so that they're set out, they go out every Sunday night. I can't click that box once when that day hasn't come yet. I have to go in every Sunday night.
say, tell Blackboard we want like a boomerang thing, like for.
There you go.
I'm just saying, like where to send it out when it comes out.
Well, it would be nice if they scheduled them. No, I don't schedule them. For some reason, I have this whole thing where I want to make real nice announcements.
Have you had anybody that'll say they're getting too much stuff because they get it?
Not yet.
They get it too much.
That's the feedback I'll get next week.
I'm just saying that.
Right?
And too for.
So this announcement goes out over email. So they get that announcement in Blackboard in their email and now from their phone. Right? So every possible way I can get them out there to do
What
it.
does that thing mean at the bottom? Students are still notified of the stuff.
And I don't think that's true. Yeah.
I think it might be like they might get into saying like a new announcement's available or something like that, because that's how it used to be in CMS. Like
I'm not sure.
But it doesn't actually say what give you the announcement. It's just
Right, it doesn't give you an announcement email, it just says there's a new announcement available.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I have had students reply to that email, so I know they're getting it. So that's kind of.
So then they find that hit send, it doesn't go to
I'm sending
It
Mel
goes to my
an email right now.
it just goes to your email.
So here's a few examples of motivational texts on progress, like how's it going? We really need to get module 3 done, right? And again, one thing I didn't do at first is put their names in, and I'm going to go back and next time I'm definitely going to put their names in. Now we've got my power texts. These are power texts, right? So you would not believe how many kids I got working with this one simple text. Available today until 1 p.m. and not available again till Sunday. Progress emails are going out to your parents and mentors today. Stay tuned to your email. I probably got 150 text messages before 1 p.m.
Wait, what's available today?
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm available today
okay.
until 1 p.m.
he refers to himself as a zero person.
Yeah. Actually, see, the reason I do that is when you get the text message, and I'll send one to you, it says Mr. Speece : so they know it's coming from me anyways, right? So available today until 1 p.m. and not available again until Sunday. Progress emails. So the power is behind this whole, I'm sending out your grade to your mom. Right? And there's a lot of kids in the summer are like, I can't go on my trip to Atlanta unless my course is done. Right?
Well, finish your course.
Right. So another one that I've used that was pretty effective was all scores are up to date at this moment. That's kind of nice to send out, right? At this very moment, all of your scores are up to date. Right?
That happens twice.
Right, there you go. I will be available again all day tomorrow. Just over 3 weeks left. Keep working. You can do it.
Andrew,
Yeah.
do you have to send that individually to each student? Like, do you copy and paste?
This I use Remind. I'll show you.
You use Remind.
Yeah.
If they don't sign up for Remind.
but they don't get them. Anyway, so let me show you Remind.
No, I'm just making sure, like, I don't know a way to do a group text in Google.
No problem.
You can do it through Google Voice.
I only use Google Voice for individual.
For individual.
Yeah. I use Remind for the other one. So Remind, let me show you. Remind's added some features. Remind's always being updated, so there's always new features. So in the last year, it's been nuts with Remind. MIBU is recognized as a teacher, as a school email, and Remind, so it's a free account.
You have to do that.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's that.
because I did just Michigan Virtual University. I spelled out the whole thing.
You can do that, but when you put your email in, that's what they check. All right, so there's 25 people in this now. Now, what's neat is adding students and parents. At the very beginning of the semester, I have a Google form that they've got to fill out with their email, their cell phone number, their parents' email, their parents' cell phone number, and I won't let them do anything in the course until it's filled out.
Okay, is it true that you can only fill out the Google Forms if you have a Gmail account? That's what someone told me yesterday. A lot of your kids.
If you set it up that way, yes. There are certain areas where you can click that it only can come from Michigan Virtual or a certain area, or it can just be open anywhere.
So I have mine always open everyone that way.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. So I set up a Google form in my course that they have to fill out before they can even move on in the course. So I have all their info, and they just added this in the last 6 months. Send invitations. So that column in your Google spreadsheet that has all those numbers in it, I just paste them right here, and it sends them all an invitation to join my course.
Kristen in that too?
What's that?
Kristen in that too?
No.
So that she knows what's going on?
She doesn't need to have every single text message I send
The
my
phone would be
students.
blowing up.
That is just that is a Kristen slappy waiting to happen. Do not put your boss in here. All right. So that's one way I've done it, and that's how I got most of them. And I put all their parents in there too. And they can opt out at any time just by texting stop. Right? So, and then this little link down here where it says Remind/join, that wonderful link, you can actually share right in your course and they can sign up live. So that link right there, I can actually put that link right in my course in my announcements, link to this page, and then they'll go and they can enter their number or their email and they can sign up. So usually I invite them all and then I put the link in it. Because then there's, but I got a new phone number. You freaking good at that, right? You just change your number, you do it, right? And I have kids, there's kids that got to text me, so they use like Text Plus app, right? Where you have to play a video game to get points and then you can text me for a little while and then that. Anyways, that's fine. They prefer to text me, figure it out. Or that's the the picture I showed you. And you can print this off as a PDF. Let's say in your face-to-face class and you want to send it home with your students. You can print off the PDF and send it home.
It'd be over 10 characters long.
What's that?
Class when you make it. Class.
Yeah, so your little code.
Yeah.
So if I were to create a course, if you were to add a new course, you have to come up with that little code right after the add symbol. It can never be used before. And
Did we send switching?
This will
I'm not
be
sure.
that I need to do.
Not sure. You enter a class code, you have to make one up. I think you said it was limited to 10 characters, something of that nature.
If you made a class in the app and you want to just put someone in there automatically, but you can still edit.
Yeah. There's an app for your phone too. I haven't found anything the only thing that I see you can do in the app that you can't do texting is hit that little star. There's like a little star after each message and you can indicate to your teacher that you read it.
Yeah.
Right here, this little star.
I never edited my students.
Yeah.
They never.
I had one of my robotics team did it, and I was like, okay, well, thanks. So I put in this presentation, they got a lot of research. I mean, literally every video, every how-to, every Let Remind show you, they do a lot better job than I do. showing them actually how to use it and signing up and that sort of thing. One thing is safe. It's set up specifically for teachers. Like they said, they advertise 1 in 5 teachers are using Remind now. That's nuts how many everyone's using it. It's safe. It's a one-way conversation, right? So there's no them responding to you. It's just a reminder, right?
No, it's bad.
They can't write it. I don't want to have a
Hopefully I'll show that. See what else I've done here.
So you use Remind for your mass texts and Google Voice for the individual.
Yep.
So early in the year, when you how do you give each of those out and differentiate them to students?
So in my instructor info, I put my text number, right? And Remind, I sign them up because they have to fill out that form, right? Then I text out on my Remind my text number so that they can put it into their phone. Here, add this to your phone, right? So that's kind of how I do it. Plus, it's in my instructor info. And trust me, once they see I have the availability to text, they're going to text me. Parent-student communication. I have some experience using, so a lot of us are face-to-face teachers too, so I thought I'd talk a little bit about how some of those things there. Yeah.
Do you do your Google Docs where they fill out the information as an adaptive release for the rest of your class?
Yeah. So my Google form at the beginning of the course, I adaptive release every other assignment. They cannot turn anything in until they do that. So I force them. Right? I have to. So that I just monitor whoever has to fill that form out. Yeah, that's the one I'm bugging all semester. So just a few things that I've done outside of MVU and extracurricular, and this could probably be used in your face-to-face class. Last minute changes, cancellations, reminders to drill at home. This is specifically towards like an extracurricular. I run a robotics team, so this is a match schedule. So if you picture going to a track event and you have this giant track, the coach gives a schedule that everyone's supposed to run when, right? But he needs the whole team to know. Why not send it out as an attachment of a remind? Now they all have it. One thing I do a lot of, so there's an example of a text message where I put a link in there to an agenda or a Word doc. So that I call them interactive text. I messed up in the bottom. Does anyone see what it is? I messed up. The kids were ticked at me. What did I do wrong in the bottom one? Mr. Spee says, here's the schedule for the weekend. And I put an attachment.
Weekend?
No. That's not the biggest issue. No one spots it? Where are my keys in the room?
What was the question?
Remember, this goes to their phone. What did I mess up? I sent an Excel file.
Oh.
Can you open an Excel file
Yeah, you can.
on your phone? Not very, I had half my team going, I can't get the file open. You can, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of them won't be able to. So send PDFs. Always send PDFs. PDFs will open on their phones. And that's another reason I like to use Google Docs, because it opens in the browser. All right, so let's check out Remind. You want to play some? First, let's send out a text to make sure you're all awake. So you can... I spelled awake wrong, but you should all get a text message. One nice thing about Remind 2 is that you can schedule text messages to go out ahead of time.
Oh, that's nice.
So I've already scheduled a text message for this session to go out at 9:30 today. And that was before you even signed up. Right? And that would basically give me feedback. So,
That's what we're done.
yeah.
So,
I want feedback when we're done, not before we start.
Is that
Yes.
How did you send them to everything?
You don't have their phone numbers.
I'm sorry?
How did you send it out?
I'm sorry.
Is that just what reminders?
We haven't,
Yeah, Remind does that. Yeah.
we haven't received
so I don't want students to text me. Is that
You want them.
This is not one. I thought you said this is
All right, so
one-way texting.
For Remind, it's one way. Google Voice, you can go both ways.
So this is Google Voice that I receive, or this is Remind?
What it is, Remind, yeah.
So I just replied to you, but
It's not
is
gonna
that...
get
It won't, I won't get it.
You can send all you want, but
It's
Okay,
wonderful.
so and it tells you, sorry, you can't reply to announcements. Okay.
All right, so this might get a little confusing because Remind, and I haven't figured out a way to use it because, and you'll see why, but Remind has recently added a chat feature to their system. And what's neat about chat, let me see. Who wants to be my guinea pig? All right, what's your name? Adam? Oops, hang on. I don't use this very often. Start a new chat. Here we go, Adam. Adam Knapp? All right. So now, I have just opened up a two-way conversation with Adam, and now you can respond to me. So you can control when you're having a two-way conversation, and you can turn off the two-way conversation at any time. Doesn't really work for my course because I want them to come to me, right? This way I'd have to go to them. So it doesn't quite work in my course the way I want it to. So I'm trying to figure out if there's even a use for it, but I heard of an elementary school teacher using this to handle all of her parents in her class that are helpers, right? So I thought that was neat. There we go. So now me and Adam can have a two-way.
That was just replied to via text, because I'll get the text message with the app.
Okay.
I think like the chat feature in the app is for like me going out. I don't get any coming in.
So now I can turn that off. I was like, all right, we're done with our conversation. I don't want to get any more from him, and I can now disable replies. And now we can't anymore. Little feature that they have in mind. I'm not sure how to use it, right? But
And then after I tried to say, sorry, I missed what you said. Disable replies to this chat, and your message was not delivered.
so any questions so far? I mean, I showed you a ton, right? I didn't really show you how to sign up for Remind. I didn't think that was necessary. You fill out a box, right? So that's how I use the 3 to get really successful. Now, I've been able to talk to every single student in my course this semester. Every single one, all 70, at some point. There's one student that refuses to do the work. He has never accessed the course, but I got him on the phone. So I was happy about that. I don't think he has any intention of ever even logging into the course. But I was able to get every single student working except 2. One of them, like I said, he's probably never going to do the course. The other one keeps telling me, oh yeah, I'm going to do it.
Any minute now.
Right? I've been at camp for a month, whatever. So that person, I don't know if she'll ever finish, but I'm at least communicating with her, and she knows that I did my due diligence, right? It's on her now.
CYA approach.
What's that?
CYA approach.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So one nice thing about every single one of these is every single conversation that I've just shown you is documented. Because the chat feature is all documented.